Hey folks, Time to Mono Man here, back in the garage. Today we're talking about foot pegs. So I'm going to replace the OEM foot pegs and remove the passenger pegs and put some blanking plates here. These guys, they'll actually protect the bike if you drop it, but for me, I'm going to take my chances with it. They tend to get in the way if I'm doing something a little hairy and I need to put my foot down. Sometimes it'll catch the back of my calf. And I never really have a passenger, so I don't need them. I've got some MK4 Pivot Pegz that I'm gonna put in there. So if you don't know anything about Pivot Pegz, they pivot like this. It allows you to pivot your foot a little bit back and forth so that you can more easily get to the controls, and it gives you a bigger footprint. I got the MK4s, and I'll open these guys up and show you what we got here. So it comes with instructions, very handy. You also get a couple extra pieces, some seals, nuts, springs, and a couple cotter pins in there. I'm going to show you what this looks like. The footprint is much larger, but it doesn't stick out that much further, which is good for me. I just want it to be more comfortable. I stand a lot and my feet tend to get sore, so I'm hoping the larger footprint is going to help with that. One thing I will say about these is they don't make them in black. I think that's a big complaint that a lot of people have. Not a big deal, but I do wish that they were black so that they would match the bike a little bit better. You know, I'll take what I can get. I did look at the Lone Rider Moto Pegs. They pivot as well. They look really good quality, but a little too pricey for me. They were $100 more than these guys, so I decided to go with these. Plus they're kind of tested, tried and true. A lot of people use these. A lot of people have installed them and really like them. It might take some getting used to with the fact that they pivot back and forth. In addition to the pegs, I've got some blanking plates here from R&G. What I don't particularly like about this is the logos. In order to take this logo off, I just need a tiny little bit of contact cleaner. You don't need really any more than that. And it just comes right off. So now I don't have that white logo there. I think this black piece will look pretty good. Just to blank it off, it should give you a little bit of clearance in between the frame, which might be a good place to wrap a strap around and hold my soft bags on. Generally I'd wrap it around this part of the frame, we'll see. But like I said, I just wanted to blank them off and, you know, not plug the hole with another bolt or something like that, or just allow water to get inside of the frame. For what these are, they were a little pricey, but that's that. All we'll do here is just remove these two bolts, put the new ones on, and put the bolts that were provided back in. And in order to move the pegs, we're just going to pull this retaining clip out here, slide it out, pull the peg out, put the other one in. You will see that there's a hole in there that the OEM spring goes into. That's not the case with these pegs. They don't fit that way, I believe. They're really just going to lay up against the base of that foot peg mount. First thing first, we're going to remove this retaining clip and pull the pin out. We will hold on to the retaining clip and the pin and reuse that for the new pegs. Just want to slide this out, hold on to it, then we'll pull the pin out, hold on to that, and there you go. Easy as that. We'll do the same on the other side. Pull that retaining clip out, pull our pin out, hold on to those as well, and the OEM peg and spring. Throw them in the trash, set them aside, sell them to somebody, keep them as spares. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do with them. I'm just going to clean these up. I'm going to clean up my pins and apply a tiny bit of grease on them so that the pivot pegs will fold up and down more easily. It's got a little rubber band on here just to hold this spring in place. I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I'll hold it in with my finger as I put it in place. Put a little pressure on it and get this hole lined up. The pin is in. You can see the pivot action here. Same thing on this side. Alright, that one was a little more stubborn. You can see the spring just goes right up against this. I've got to put my retaining clip on. Alright, good to go. To remove the passenger footrest, all you need is a Torx T40. I stuck this on my extremely large socket wrench. Probably not necessary, but we'll just remove them. For the blanking plate, you see it's not completely straight. It's got a little bit of a curve, so you're going to want to take a look at them and make sure you've got the right one for the right side. It's very easy to tell. And you need a 5mm Allen wrench. We'll get these tightened up. I don't know what the torque spec is for this, but it's really just a blanking plate. So I'm gonna make it snug enough so that it doesn't come out or shake loose, but not over tighten it. And I'm not gonna worry about what the torque spec is. So there you have it. Like I said, there's a little bit of a space here, so I can kind of attach a strap to it or something, but it just makes it look a little cleaner so that there's not holes in the side of your bike. So that's it, guys. Like I said, it's a super easy job. 10 minutes tops. You know, with me moving my camera around, it took a little bit longer, but I mean, unless you're really struggling to get the foot peg hole lined up and get the pan in, it's not going to take you any time at all. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.